Hey everyone, John here from TestPrepInsight.com, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 important factors to consider before enrolling in a psychology degree program online. I know how confusing it can be to try and assess and rate out all these different online universities out there, but luckily for you, today I'm going to cut through all the noise and really shed light on the decision factors that truly matter. That way you know what to look for during your research process. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Alright, so before I just dive into these factors, I should mention up front here that if at any point during this video you feel like you need some more information, make sure to check out the description below. I'll drop links in the text below the video screen over to a bunch of helpful sources, guides, and resources, so you'll definitely want to check those out. And also, if you find this video helpful in any way, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that thumbs up button, and drop us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. Okay, so let's get to it. So step number 1 is to actually pause, take a deep breath, and really think about your long-term goals. What do you ultimately want to do after earning your psychology degree? Is it to become a mental health counselor, an HR specialist, social worker, or market researcher? Or is your end goal to earn a master's degree and become a fully licensed psychologist? You get it, there are a lot of different career paths. The point is that you first need to narrow down what it is you want to specialize in. This will help you figure out which degree program best aligns with your personal goals. That way, as you conduct your research, you can start to spot what I call X factors among all these different online universities and their psychology degree programs. And by X factors, I'm talking about the specific attributes, offerings, and curriculum that align with your objectives. So think different concentration options. Does the university offer an exact concentration for the niche that you're most interested in? Behavioral analysis, sports psychology, etc. How many elective credits are there as part of that degree track? That way you can really focus on the topic areas that you're truly passionate about. Are there any specific psychology-related accreditations or certifications that are integrated into the degree program so you can further boost your skills and resume? Or maybe your end goal is to earn a master's degree after completing your bachelor's. In that case, you'll likely want to check out online universities that offer an accelerated bachelor's to master's option. Purdue University Global, which is a popular national online university, is a perfect example of this. Essentially, by earning a minimum grade point average in select courses, you can gain entry into a streamlined version of Purdue Global's Master's in Psychology program. That way you can complete both degrees in less time and at a lower cost than completing both separately. Additionally, they focus on areas of psychology such as applied behavior analysis, addictions, industrial organizational psychology, forensic psychology, or general psychology, and can prepare you for specific certification exams. So the key takeaway here is that by considering your end goals and objectives as you conduct your research, it will help you recognize which programs might be a good fit for you and your career path. Alright, so next up, you should become familiar with the admissions requirements and application process. So, online universities generally fall into one of two categories, either open enrollment or selective enrollment. Selective enrollment schools are the more traditional types of universities that probably come to mind when you hear the word college. These are schools like Stanford, UCLA, Cornell, etc. These types of universities typically have rigorous admissions requirements. You'll likely need a minimum GPA, a high SAT or ACT score, and write a personal statement among some other requirements. So if you have a strong academic background and don't mind jumping through a few extra hoops in order to get accepted into a top-ranked psychology program, then you might want to direct your attention to selective enrollment schools. However, as you might imagine, the acceptance rates at selective enrollment schools tend to be quite low. In other words, it's quite difficult to get accepted, even for students with superb academic resumes. Therefore, you might want to also consider open enrollment universities. These types of schools are typically a better fit for students who might not have the most noteworthy academic background, or for people who have been serving in the military or working full-time for the past few years and are now looking to go back to school, since the only admission requirement, depending on the program of course, is that you generally just have a high school diploma or GED. So if this type of school is a better match with your background or academic resume, I would suggest checking out Purdue University Global. I'll be using them for example purposes throughout this video since they're a popular national online university. I'll go ahead and drop a link down below in the description over to Purdue Global so you can get a better feel for what the application and admissions process is like at an open enrollment college. Okay, so the third and quite possibly most crucial factor to consider is tuition cost. How much is an online bachelor's degree in psychology going to cost? And as you might imagine, there are a few components to keep in mind here. So the first thing you should do is examine the university's tuition per credit rate and the number of credits required for graduation. Doing some quick calculations will give you a general idea of the total cost to earn your psychology degree. Typically, online universities will require either 120 or 180 credits to graduate. And then in terms of tuition, it usually ranges from around $250 per credit on the low end, all the way up to $550 or more per credit on the high end. Though this of course depends on the schools that you're targeting, as well as other factors like where you reside, whether you're an international student, a member of the military, etc. And then on top of the standard tuition costs, online universities typically charge other fees and assessments as well that you'll definitely want to consider. These include technology fees, transcript fees, learning assessments, graduation fees, etc. Sometimes these extra costs can really add up, so it's worth investigating prior to enrolling. Now, another factor to keep in mind here as you think about tuition are transfer credits. This can really help reduce the overall cost to earn your degree. And I'm not just talking about college credits you already have from a previous institution. A lot of online universities, Purdue University Global being one of them, allow students to earn college credits in a variety of different ways. You can pass certain standardized exams and earn credits. You can take free open learning courses. If you have a professional certificate or military training, that can count towards your degree. In other words, it's not all about previous courses that you've taken. You might very well be able to slash several credits off your degree track simply based on your work experience or previous training. So definitely make sure to look for these types of opportunities as you do your research. Alright, so last up here, let's talk about program format. But before I cover that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a $500 scholarship to one lucky subscriber, just as a way of saying thank you and to help ease the financial burden of higher education. It's super simple to enter. I'll drop all the details down below in the description, but just know it takes like 10 seconds to enter, and hey, you never know, you could win $500 to help pay for your psychology degree. Okay, so back to program format, or in other words, how these universities organize their curriculum and schedule. So most online degree programs fall into one of three groupings: short accelerated terms, traditional terms, and self-paced. So in that first grouping of short accelerated terms, these are universities with 4 to 6 week terms in which you take one course at a time or maybe 2 courses max. The pace of each course is accelerated, but the nice thing here is that you only have to focus on one class at a time. You don't have to constantly juggle preparing for 3 or 4 courses at once. So if you're the type of student who struggles with multitasking or staying organized, then this type of program format might be an ideal fit for you, assuming of course that you have the free time for a fast-paced schedule. Now, the second type of format is the more traditional type of college calendar that you're probably familiar with. I'm talking 2 to 5 classes per term that last anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. Think quarter or semester system. And I'd say the majority of online universities fall into this category. Purdue Global, for example, which I've mentioned several times already, follows this format. They offer 10-week terms in which each program requires a weekly commitment of around 15 to 18 hours on average. Again, the link for Purdue Global will be down below in the description. They have some helpful information on their website regarding how their courses and terms are structured, so you can get a better feel for this traditional type of program format. Alright, so lastly, we have self-paced learning formats, which seem to be picking up steam over the last few years. Basically, with these types of degree programs, you can take courses at your own speed and progress to the next course whenever you're ready. So if you want to complete multiple courses at a time and zip through the degree program as quickly as possible, you can, in as little as 16 to 18 months in some cases. But if you have other full-time responsibilities like a job or young kids at home and you only have a few hours per week that you can dedicate towards your degree program, then you can slow the pace down and study when you can. So bottom line, if you're super busy or have a hectic schedule that's constantly changing, this type of self-paced program might be ideal. And that about does it for this video. I know making a decision about something as important as your education can be pretty stressful, so I hope this was some helpful advice around online universities and gives you some solid tips for finding a psychology degree program that fits your specific goals, budget, and interest. Again, if you want to learn more about online psychology degree programs, be sure to check out the description below. I'll have a bunch of helpful information down there for you, including guides and resources related to scholarships and financial aid for you to check out. Also, if you're interested in another degree area outside of psychology, be sure to check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. We have a bunch of helpful content related to higher education. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.